So what are you going to do?
Okay.
What?
We're here with my grandfather and grandmother. And, okay, just introduce yourself.
I'm Basile. I'm
As a Grandpa Basile.
You gotta say your full name.
my full.
What's your full name?
Anthony Basile.
Anthony, your middle name, please.
Charles.
Anthony Charles Basile. And?
Oh, I'm Catherine Basile.
Catherine?
Yeah.
Middle name?
I don't have any.
Grandma doesn't have a middle name?
No.
And, where were you born?
In the hospital.
Grandma, where were you born?
Yeah, I was born in Auburn too.
Auburn Memorial Hospital?
No, at home.
Oh.
They delivered in the house at that time. They used to have like midwives, and they used to call the midwives, and then the doctor would come, and then they delivered it in the house.
Oh.
And Grandpa the same way.
Oh.
They lived together, like a little commune. They were always together, you know. This West End was all Italians, all families together, relatives, everything, cousins, uncles, were all together, yeah. In case somebody was sick, there was always somebody there to take care of you, see?
Yeah.
Like Ma would be sick, you know, there'd be, Aunt Rosie would come and help us. When she was sick, Ma would go over there. Right, all the neighbors were nice, they'd help each other out.
Tell people.
You gotta tell the future generation.
After we're gone,
I gotta tell.
after we're gone, they're gonna play this on and tell everybody.
I learned that kids have it.
That happens to the kids. Tori, you hear that? And say, Grandpa did that.
And how about you, Graham? You went
I went as far as 9th grade.
9th grade?
Yeah.
And that would be
Up to Central High.
Central High?
Yeah, first, like Jen is going now to
Right.
9th grade. But then when I was 15, I had to quit because we all had to go to work.
And where did you?
And I went to work at Kingsburg. No, I worked at Don McCarthy first. And then after Don McCarthy, I went to a Kingsburg. It was a garment factory. And that was on East Genesee where Bartolotta's just remodeled. And I used to clip threads from the dresses.
Oh.
Penny a dozen.
A penny a dozen.
And I made $7 a week. 7 to 5 o'clock. 10 hours, isn't it? 7 to 5? 5 days. 50 hours for $7 a week. And you walked up and you walked back.
Yeah.
From East Genesee to home. There was no bus.
Yeah.
If there was a bus, you couldn't afford it.
You couldn't afford.
It was a dime.
It was a dime for a bus?
Yeah. But no, we didn't have the money, so we walked. How we did it, I don't know. And the snow would be like 5 feet deep. I mean, we had snow.
Yeah.
And we didn't have snow boots or boots. We went with our shoes. My knees would be frozen. I'm telling you, it was cold. And you didn't have socks to put on either. You didn't have it. You put just the stockings that you had. That was it.
And what did you do with your money when you got it?
Turned it into Pat.
You returned
Had to
it?
give them to him. Yeah, he had to make a living. Yeah. It was just hard for him because he didn't earn much, and he worked after the wagon shop. He did work at the Elco's, and he'd make extra money when we'd have this big snow blizzards. They used to call him to help shoveling snow at the Lehigh Valley. And sometimes he didn't come home nights till 8, 9 o'clock. And you know, none of us had supper till Pa came home. Nobody ate first. Nobody. You sat at the table when your father walked in. That poor man was frozen, shoveling snow by hand and the tracks, clearing the tracks so the trains could come through. Yeah.
And how did you heat the houses? Coal?
Coal.
Coal?
We'd have a stove in the living room and a stove in the kitchen. And it was cold.
It was the kids' jobs to keep the house?
No, he took care of the coal himself. He didn't want us to touch any of that. No, because he was afraid of catching on fire. And Dad, it was his job. He did that. But we did everything else. We all had our chores to do, making the beds. Ma never did any work when we got big. Right. Each one washed clothes, the other one ironed, the other one cleaned house, the other one cooked. We had to do everything, which worked out all right, but yeah. But the coal, he took care of that himself.
And what school did you go to, Grab?
James.
Started at Madison Avenue School,
Oh, Madison Avenue. I went to James,
James Street School, and then South Street School.
South Street.
but I didn't hit high school.
No.
That was it.
Wasn't there? Didn't you go away for a little while?
That was
To a,
CC camp.
they sent you to CC camp. What is that?
Civil concentration.
There's plant trees. They're planting trees at Howland's Island and Port Barn.
Civil, and I don't know what it is.
I got still his papers, yeah. $1. Was it $1? No, $1 a day.
$1 a month.
$1 a month? No, $1 a day.
No.
You're making it worse. I think you're
I got a discharge for
Yeah. How long were you in there?
See,
Let's see,
over
about 2 years, wasn't it? 'Cause
3
you came out
years.
3 years. You were 18 when you came out.
18.
Yeah. That money went straight to his mother.
Yeah.
And basically, I didn't see a penny.
No, not a penny. No.
Jeez. And how did you get sent there?
Because he wouldn't work.
You-
His father sent him
Yeah.
over there.
Oh, his father?
Yeah,
had
that's
his
right.
Yeah.
Keep him occupied one way or another.
Gee. So did you work after that?
Yeah, he went to the International Harvester, which was during the war called Hoffman's. You know that factory on York Street? I think Harry's Tire Shop, right behind you. There's this big factory that used to be there.
Oh yeah,
All
yeah.
right, that was the International Harvester. They used to do these machines for the International Harvester, machines that used to harvest the wheat.
Right.
And they used to work there. What do you
I
used
worked
to do?
at macaroni shop.
You didn't work no macaroni.
Not macaroni, but the mayonnaise.
That was after we got married. Before you, didn't you work at the International Harvester?
Oh, yeah,
For about a year, I think it was, wasn't it?
for a year.
Yeah.
And then you were 18, and then how long after that did you get married?
Well, I think he was 21, wasn't he?
21.
And I was 18.
And
1937.
37? How did you meet Graham?
Oh, we lived in the same street, and he
Yeah.
always eye at me, you know.
Hi.
Certainly I deny
She
you.
was coming after
No,
me.
I wasn't. Are you kidding?
Says, I'll grab that guy.
Document that, because no way. He'd be polishing his shoes. Can you meet me tonight at the pavilion? You know, at the Wasco Lake.
Oh,
They're
yeah.
dancing there every Saturday night.
Oh yeah.
Well, we couldn't get out. We couldn't. You couldn't go out with a fella unless you were supposed to be married. So how the heck was I going to sneak out? So we were thinking of stories. I said, I don't know if I can get out or not. Can you? You had a car. Oh, wait a minute, Adolf Zott, Eddie Zott. I don't know if you know Eddie Zott. Daddy knows him because they were good friends. Eddie is about the same age as Peter. Took us up. He was married, Adolf, and he took Daddy and picked me up on the corner of Genesee here. I walked in Dunning Avenue, and he took us up the lake. And we went there. Oh, we were all excited to know. And he buys me ginger ale. The heck what it was. And then we went dancing. Then you go across the hall and you go dancing. We get on that hall, and who was looking in the window? Because everybody used to go there every Saturday and look in and watch the people dancing. Sivijanza, Nancy's mother, her daughter, Nancy, Johnny. I thought, oh, I'm cooked. I'm finished. So I told Tony, oh my God, my aunt's over there. So we danced and we stayed, oh God, I must have been about 8:45. I had to be home by 9 o'clock, and I ran home. They were there already over the pies and says that I was dancing.
Oh, jeez.
I was finished. I didn't get hit like I usually he hit Josie when she stepped out, you know. But it was tough. It wasn't easy because everybody had their own customs of doing things, you know. Of course, his sister had the same problem. He was much more stricter with her. And of course, she worked hard too. Teresa made good money at Dunn McCarthy and turned her money in, but she defied her father.
You asked Grandma to marry you.
How'd I ask her?
Yeah.
Where
Where
were we?
were you?
We always used to hang out at the Lehigh Valley Station.
I
That
didn't
was.
ask her to marry.
Oh, so when are we going to get married? He says.
I didn't have a job.
Yeah, you worked.
Well, I didn't have it for years.
No, you didn't have a
I
job.
didn't have a
No,
job.
you didn't have
No.
a job. No, I was the only one that was working, and we had to come home and ask Pa for my
Right,
hand in
right.
marriage. Of course, Pa didn't like it because we just lost Mary. She died in January, and over there you're mourning for years for the one that died. And he didn't like it because we wanted to get married in April, and it was too close. He says we could get married, but not from his house. So that's how I got married, from Johnny and Nancy's house. They took us and prepared everything, and
What do you mean from John?
we had to dress up in their house, not in Pa's house.
Oh, Pod?
No, because there we were in mourning, and
In
when
mourning?
you're in mourning, you're not supposed to have
Any celebration or
of any
sort of-
kind. Yeah.
Oh. Huh.
Stayed there,
What church did you get married?
St. Francis.
St. Francis?
Yeah, St. Francis. Yeah. And we
Who was the priest?
Father, not Newcomb,
Gavani.
no, yeah, it was Father Gavani, but who was his assistant? It was Father Gavani,
Father
Father
Bettina.
Newcomb. Honey, you're way off.
What
50
is-
years ago, Father Butini wasn't there. He was there when Anthony was there. How could he be there? Father Newcomb and the other one I can't remember. He was so nice. It's on my marriage certificate. I can't remember. Father Newcomb and Father Gavani. Oh God, what
Father
was it?
Gavani married us.
No, it was his assistant that married us. I think we got married, what was it, 11 o'clock? 11 o'clock in the morning? I think.
Don't ask me.
Sam Casalino was her best man.
Sam Casalino?
Yeah, and Anna Dio, you never met her. She was here for my,
Oh,
Anniversary.
okay, yeah, yeah.
she was my maid of honor.
Huh.
And that was it. We didn't have no
Right.
money. I mean, we just had enough money. I think the hotel was $4, or $6, and I think I had 10. God, I'm telling you.
And then you had Dad?
Yeah, after 2 years. Where were we living? Grandpa gave us, his father gave us the apartment upstairs on Lafayette Place, and that's where Daddy was born.
At home?
No, at the hospital.
At the
I
hospital.
wonder, God. And then Peter was born there too. We stayed there till I had Peter, and then we found this house. Peter was what, about 3 years old? 3 years old.
1953.
Three. Peter was born in 42 and then 50. Oh, it was terrible. Trying to meet a payment of $65 for mortgage.
$65.
It was hard, honey. It was hard. I wouldn't miss a payment. I don't care what I went away with, but I had to have that money first.
Right.
That came first. That room was empty for 1 year.
Yeah?
Didn't get no living room. I just was able to get just, was it the couch
Couch.
and a rug. I did get a bedroom set because I gave my bedroom set to Anthony, and Peter had Anthony's. So we had to shift everything around to make do.
Hmm.
Oh God, I'm telling you.
And then they had me.
And they had you,
Mhm.
and you
That-
had a broken
That's
arm.
where the trouble comes.
And don't forget it either. With a broken shoulder blade. Oh, you were such a big baby, such a beautiful baby. Oh, I'll never forget it. Poor thing, you just have this all strapped up in his little arm like that. Oh God, falling off the stove, or the stove falling on you.
Mm.
What else? How many more times did you get hurt? God knows.
Falling down the steps
Yeah.
here.
Nearly broke his neck.
And then Debbie came.
Then Debbie came. And when Debbie was born, when Daddy called, he said, what am I going to do with the little girl? I said, oh, you're going to be so happy with her. And then when Jennifer came, oh my God, he was in seventh heaven. Oh dear.
You used to go to Ocean City for vacation?
Oh yeah, and we started 4 days, little by little, you know, and stay on the outskirts of Ocean City, and we used to pay $4 a night. The showers were outside, you know, we had to walk out. And they were so nice to us. They would put our milk, because we used to bring food to cook, in the refrigerator for us. He was so nice. That was in Pleasantville. I'll never forget that. They were great. Then, after a couple of years, 5 days, so we'd go to whatever we could afford, you know. And we couldn't afford to go on the rides for the kids. We didn't have that kind of money, so we did used to give them enough for a couple of rides apiece and walk the boardwalk, and that was it. That was the outing. But we'd be at the beach all day, and
well, if you had to sum up, you know, your life and everything, what would have been like the best time, the best time you ever had?
I wouldn't have changed anything, really. The best time of our lives.
Yeah.
Having our children and being together with them, that was our best. So what we did for them, oh yeah, I don't have any regrets, because everything we did when the kids were small, we did for them first. We never thought about ourselves. If we went out, it was where they wanted to go. You know, I can't say I've got any regrets, really, because I feel this was part of life, and we had to go through it one way or another.
Would you change anything, Grap?
Change a lot.
Change anything in your life that you did?
Sure, he'd go have a casino of his own that he wants, so he could play cards. You're afraid to have it documented.
So you wouldn't change anything?
What would you change in your life?
Oh, I'm perfect.
You're perfect. Oh, God.
What would you tell the future generations that are watching this? What advice would you give to us, you know, about life? Things to do?
Don't ask me questions.
Oh, I would say to take the bad, good with the bad, and as things come, and just don't splurge. Think about your family. Your family comes first. To be close together means an awful lot. And your health is important too. That's another important thing. That's the main thing. But the best thing, I think, is to have your family close together. That means an awful lot. To me, it does anyway. And I think you're going to have tough days that you think you're going to kill yourself. But you can pull out of it. You can. We did it. Nothing's easy. I've always said that to the kids. Nothing's easy if you've got to work for whatever you want. You got to have faith. And that's another big thing, too. If you don't have the faith and the closeness of your family, you don't get nothing. The money doesn't mean a thing. You know, money's a major thing in life, but you can do without it. We did.
Money.
What am I saying?
Grandpa says money means everything.
Yeah.
If you got money, you can do everything.
Oh, good, poor baby. Have you been deprived of anything? What have you been deprived of? What have you been deprived of? What have you gone without?
Have you gone without anything?
No, I ain't going without anything.
But
But I go without money.
you're happy anyway, aren't you?
say to Jennifer, because she's still young, what would you say to Jennifer and Tori and Deb, once you're gone, or, once they get older, what would you want to tell them, if you could tell them, something?
Oh gosh, what could I tell them?
Listen to your mother and father.
That's right. It's number one. Your best instincts. There's a decision you can't make. Turn to your father and mother. Have faith. Number one, you gotta have faith. And always, always go back to your parents. Always. Never think that your parents are gonna throw you out or don't want to listen to you. Or if you think you're not gonna have time to you, they will. At the time you're asking them for help, they may have other things on their mind and they don't realize they're turning their back to you. But give them time, they'll turn around and have time for you. Always go to your parents. There are your best friends besides being your mother and father. I hope my grandchildren will listen to that, because that really is. If you haven't got your mother and father, you've got nobody. And try to get along with all your sisters and brothers, and you're going to have more children as you go along. Try to get along together and be together, because there is going to be nobody anymore if you're not, don't have the closeness with your own family, your own relatives. You're separating yourselves farther and farther away, and you're not going to have nobody, and you want to be close, a close-knit family. Really, I think they should do that. That's the best answer I could give them. Even though Pa was stern, his mother was, and his father was very stern, but if it wasn't for them, trying to give you advice, what would we have done,